What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 73 and we start today's episode off with a game against Spurs here at Carrow Road in the league. Now Spurs, of course, one of the few teams that have managed to beat us this season. They did beat us in a reverse fixture at White Hart Lane by 3-0, so we're looking to bounce back and start to get back on the winning trail, because as you guys have seen, of late the form has been really bad. We've been in some horrific form. January, we are yet to win a single game, so it's been really disappointing, and we just need to end it right now, because I'm not liking this. You guys have been commenting, I've been reading all your comments. It's so frustrating to see you lose these games, turn the difficulty down, go to a new club, but it's only been a few games, guys. Don't worry, we'll start winning again, and hopefully we'll start with a win here against AVB's men, and get back on the winning trail. And of course, we're falling off the pace a little bit. If we can get a win here, we'll start to push on, and January won't look so bad after all. But anyway, the first chance of the game came in the 5th minute here. We won a corner. Towns crossed it into the back post. Leroy Fair's header just goes wide of the post. So still 0-0. And in the 13th minute, Kyle Walker has a free kick for Spurs. Launches it towards Wilfred Boney. It's up in the air. Comes to Falk here. Falk collects the ball. Gives it to Wilfred Boney. And Boney scores. And I was like, oh my god, not again. 14 minutes in, Spurs were 1-0 up. So even though we had the first chance of the game, Spurs got the first goal of the game. So Boney, the former Swansea man, makes it 1-0 to Spurs. But straight from kick-off, we played the ball out wide to Nathan Redmond. Redmond takes on Aaron Lennon here. He's teasing him. Eventually, he gets him with a drag back, then cuts onto his right foot. Nice heel-to-heel flick here. Stops again. Plays it out wide to Shaw. Shaw plays it back to Redmond. Redmond down left-hand side. Thiago Silva tries to catch up. Redmond, Ronaldo chops around him. Shoots. Gomez makes a save. And Townsend, oh my goodness, how on earth did he miss that? Seriously. Should have scored against his former club there, but he could only hit the bar from the open goal. So still 1-0. And in the 32nd minute here, Boney's header was brilliantly saved by Butland. And it is still 1-0 to Spurs. We were coming back into the game, but not much happened in the second half until the 88th minute here, when Townsend collected the ball, chipped it over the top to Anthony. Anthony with a chance to equalise right at the death, but Gomez, yes, Gomez pulls off an incredible save. It's not that surprising, but still, what a fantastic save by Gomez. Still 1-0, and the corner was then headed off the line after the header came in. Still 1-0. We were putting the pressure on in injury time, and I was just trying to keep hold of the ball here. You see Leroy Fair collect it. Just didn't want to pass the ball and give it away, so Fair goes down left-hand side, double step over, gets onto his right foot to cross it, and the referee blows for full time. Oh my goodness, it seems we ran out of time. I was really frustrated about that, because I was determined not to give the ball away and, cross the ball and then lose it, when no one's in the box, or, quite frankly, just have a terrible shot which goes wide and then it's game over. So I thought I'd just keep hold of the ball, just play it outside the edge of the box, just wait for it to come. But unfortunately it did finish 1-0, and sadly that was the end of that. But straight after that, we saw another transfer offer come in for Nathan Redmond again. It's Spurs, who we just lost to. They asked if they could get him off us for £8.5 million. And we said no. We also disallowed all bids, because I'm just fed up with it now. And Sigurdsson then declines the contract we offered, because it's not good enough for him. And I said forget about it, basically, because he's an awesome player, guys. I know that. But to be honest, I can't justify paying that much money for a player who I'm not sure is going to get into the first 11. So with that in mind, Sigurdsson's not coming in. Redmond's not going anywhere, and that's perfectly fine with me. But we do have another scout report here from our Danish scout based in England. Picks up one good player, Lee Marshall, but the rest look very average, who I'll probably end up releasing. Signing in the end. But once again, be reading all your comments. Thank you very much for all your comments, guys. I try and read as many as possible. And Junior Malanda is a player that's being talked about a lot. We've had him for Belgium. I've seen his Ultimate Team card. Looks like an unbelievable CDM. You guys have been like, oh, can you get Malanda? He's an absolute tank. He's a beast at holding midfield. And I was like, oh my god, do I really need another midfielder, guys? But no, you guys have been asking for him, so I thought, okay, fine, I'll inquire. Haven't got any money really, but if we can sell a player or two, we might be able to afford him. But decided to inquire, so there you go. Once again, if you've got any suggestions for signings, then let me know. I'll be sure to check them out. And thanks very much for the comments so far anyway. But we took on Crawley Town for the following game of the episode here. Crawley, of course, now we had the first leg, if you will, the first game against them in the third round away at Crawley, and we could only draw 0-0. So we took on Crawley here in the replay, once again rested the entire side, and I thought, well, if we fail to win this game, I don't even know. But in the 4th minute we had the first chance, the goalkeeper kicks it out, it goes straight to Ikrem, and what a fantastic first time volley. So Ikrem gives us the lead 5 minutes in. It was the goalkeeper's poor kick, came straight to our midfielder. I thought, do you know what, I'm just going to let fly with him. I'm just going to take a first time shot, no touch, no pass out wide, no, I'll just take a first time volley, and it was absolutely fantastic. Perfect perfect accuracy, if you will, because it's, you know, right into the corner, no chance for the goalkeeper coming back. So brilliant strike, and I think that's his first goal for the club as well. So 1-0 to Norwich, and in the 7th minute here, Crawley come through, but their shot ended up hitting the post, and then McCarthy had to make a great save. So Crawley sensing the danger here, as we've not won in January, they must have been thinking we can attack Norwich and possibly get a result here. So still 1-0. But Crawley were coming back into it here, and another good chance here. Clark collects the ball, plays it out wide to Adams. Adams chips it inside to Simpson. Simpson collects the ball here. Simpson plays it through to Drury, and it's another brilliantly saved by McCarthy to keep the score at 1-0. So Crawley were sensing the danger here, and you know, basically sensing that we were weak at the moment. We were seeing horrendously out of form. They were playing really well, but it was still 1-0. And in the 52nd minute here, Dale Jennings step overs around his man, gets inside, takes aim just wide of the post by Dale Jennings. So still 1-0. But in the 63rd minute here, Jennings gets on the ball again, down the left-hand side here, where he's most dangerous, cutting into his right foot, and that's exactly where the goal came from. What a fantastic strike. His 14th of the season. I mean, that's where Jennings is best at, obviously, down the left wing, cutting onto his right and smashing the ball in. So Jennings makes it 2-0, and it looks as though Crawley's best chance of getting through in this game were all but over. They had a great chance here, though, but Corker makes a wonderful interception there. The ball was definitely going in there before he touched the ball, and then Bicycle kicks it away off the line. But it did finish Norwich 2, Crawley 0, which means that we do have our first win of January. Finally, the first win of the month is here. It's taken a long time, but we've got it. We've been a team horrendously out of form. We've been in horrific form. You don't need to tell me 5 times like you guys have been commenting, but no, we've got the win and it's done now, and hopefully now we can push on. You know, we needed that break, and we've got it, so hopefully we can push on now and start to pick up the points. But anyway, Wolfsburg wanted 17.5 million for Malanda, and I was like, well, quite frankly, I can barely afford £5, but we told them that we'd give them 4.7 million, I think it was, or possibly 4.8888 or something like that. But yeah, we said we'd give Wolfsburg all we've got, and I think we also offered Johnny Howson as well, just to try and sweeten the deal, because who doesn't like Johnny Howson? But obviously that bid's not going to get accepted. I know that, you know that, but you guys did say you'd like Malanda, so I thought we'll inquire anyway. And then Corker says thanks for the playing time, which is great, because he's had a really solid debut season. You know, he's been really decent for us. And then I decided to go into the loan list here and get Serge Gnabry back on loan. Had him last year, didn't really play that often. He's not going to play often again. But with Serge Gnabry, what you have is a player that doesn't complain, he doesn't get games, he sits in the reserves, and if you ever need him for any injury crisis or just to sit on the bench, he does the job perfectly fine. So that's why we're going to loan him again. It's like we don't need him, I know that, but I am one of these people that are so petrified that an injury crisis is going to come up at any time, because as you guys have been seeing, we haven't had too many injuries this series at all, really. And, you know, I just know that, you know, once one happens, there's going to be a ton of players that just start getting injured, and I don't want to have an injury crisis and we're stuck with no wingers, you know. So Gnabry coming in on loan, he'll be fine. He's a good young man, and he's a good young player, so he'll do just to sit in the reserves, occasionally sit on the bench, and he'll be fine. So we'll try and get him in on loan, and he's only going to cost us like 10 grand a week. But anyway, we take on West Ham, West Ham here at Upton Park for the third and final game, and as you've seen, we're sitting in 8th now. We've dropped down so much, we're beginning to, you know, just completely fall away from the front runners, and the chasing pack have caught up with us in the Champions League spots, and they've knocked us down to 8th. So we are really out of it at the moment. We need to start performing, and we could do it with a win against West Ham, of course, coming on the back of that win against Crawley, the first in the month. And in the 17th minute here, West Ham had the first chance of the game. Jarvis crosses the ball to the far post. The header was well saved by McCarthy, but it did come to Stuart Downing, and the former Liverpool man makes it 1-0 to West West Ham. So what a dreadful start. McCarthy starting in goal here over Butland. Made a good save but couldn't get to the rebound. 1-0 to West Ham. He Redmond shot well saved by Adrian. I think it was in goal for West Ham. So still 1-0 to West Ham. From the corner, Towns crosses the ball in towards Chris Smalling. It's headed away. Comes to Nathaniel Chaloba. Chaloba gives it to Redmond for his second chance, but the shot goes miles over the bar. So still 1-0. And in the 45th minute, Luke Shaw gets on the ball down the left-hand side. Shaw takes on Downing, gets a bit lucky, but uses his strength to get past Downing. Keeps on going. He's a powerful left-back, Luke Shaw, so he's not going to get out-muscled. Eventually gets himself into a shooting opportunity, but again, Adrian makes a good save, so still 1-0. And in the 86th minute here, Townsend collects the ball. Townsend goes onto his right foot here, ends up playing the ball out wide to Nathaniel Chaloba. First time strike again. Adrian makes a really, really decent save. He was playing very well in this game. And from the corner, Towns crosses the ball into the far post, headed up in the air, comes to Dale Jennings, gets onto his right foot, but his shot again is brilliantly saved by Adrian. So still 1-0, and the last chance of the game fell in injury time. Dale Jennings gives up to Leroy Fair. Fair down left-hand side, crosses the ball in after beating Jordan Spence. Kirakez's header, once again, brilliantly saved by that man Adrian. So what a fantastic performance by the West Ham goalkeeper. It finished 1-0. It's another defeat. We are in some horrific form. Yes, we beat Crawley and got the first win in a month, but the form in the league is just embarrassing. We've got to sort it out. It is really bad. We are falling down the table so quickly. It is ridiculous. But as always, guys, a big thank you for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it despite the losses. And if you have enjoyed it, please leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode tomorrow.
Score 1.